Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the lab. Of course, it's the almost Men in Black. Ace had to be cool today. Just kidding. Welcome back to SOY Cast. I'm your host, John. Of course, with me, as always, the wonderful Andre Knox, Albert Emberdor, and Ace Emberdor. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Gravy.
Hello.
Hello.
Yo, Albert, what you drinking over there? Looks like you had a nice little.
Got the
Cafe.
classic Bucks.
Oh, okay. Hey, wait, whatever happened with that boba from Bucks? Was that like some just fake picture
I hope
meme
so.
stuff, or was
They
it
made
real?
boba. No, there's no way they made boba.
There were pictures circulating, but I've never seen anything since. And I don't think it was April Fool's, but shows wild.
I'm sure
Is
they're
that what-
putting out
That's
somewhere.
that's a flop right there. No.
Is that
No
why there's a
Starbucks
boba
boba.
shortage? Because they bought all the boba?
Maybe they're gonna corner the market, make it really scarce, and then months later, all of a sudden, surprise, Starbucks is the only person that has boba. Sounds like something they would do.
Interesting.
It's also speaking the story, like it was in the news, like a short period, but some girl in Japan, I guess, had consumed so much boba, like she had to go to the hospital because her whole stomach was just full of boba balls, and they had
Was that Bea?
Stuff.
Damn, that's crazy.
But yeah, I
No
guess it was
way.
an insane amount, and so she had to go and get it pumped out or something crazy. Her just stomach was full of the balls, like the tapioca balls.
Yowzers.
Now we know where the shortage is coming from.
Right?
I mean, do y'all chew it? Because I chew mine.
Yeah, I don't know
mean,
what
yeah.
she was doing.
I don't know what it's kind of like bubble gum, right? You're not supposed to just swallow. I don't swallow bubble gum, but you're supposed to just chew on the boba, right?
But you consume the boba, unlike bubble gum.
No, you spit
You
it
don't
out like
you
sunflower
don't
seeds.
spit. No, there's
No,
no.
yeah, you spit it
No.
out. John, wait, you aren't actually swallowing the boba, are you?
Come on, Matt. Ace. I've seen
Boba in
you.
Japan means spit.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's actually illegal to swallow boba in 29 states.
Yeah.
So leave a comment down low on how weird John is for swallowing his boba.
Yeah.
Man, type F in the chat for Ace trying to say he spits out boba. Yeah, right, bro.
Spit hot boba, son. I spit hot boba.
Do y'all remember, speaking of Starbucks, do y'all remember that weird foam that they tried to do for a minute?
Oh,
Bro, what's
was
up
like
with your Starbucks drink, bro? If
No,
you got some
no,
weird foam in your
no,
Starbucks drink,
no.
you
It's
you better return it.
Oh no, because they were trying to do I'm sure y'all have had 85 degrees before with the sea cream foam or whatever. I feel like
Oh,
Starbucks
yeah,
tried
yeah.
to do something similar to that. Sorry,
It
I guess
wasn't that
foam wasn't the right word.
nitro thing, was it?
No,
It
the
wasn't
nitro
that.
cold brew just naturally has that kind of fizz at the Dre. I love nitro cold brew. I don't know if you're
Okay.
hating on them or loving them.
Whoa. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. No, I was just curious.
No, yeah, no, it's not like that because that's that's the because it's from a draft, right? So even beer has heads, so that's kind of like what the nitro cold brew is.
It's like from the tap, right?
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean like actual sea cream. Like they try to do a sea cream style foam in their drinks. It's called the
Sea
cloud something drink.
Nah, don't just stick to your frappuccinos, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get frappuccino. I get what
No,
Albert,
I'm
Albert
saying the Starbucks. Stick to your fraps.
They definitely are crushing it with that. Sorry guys, let's do a quick NBA update because I don't know about y'all, but the playoffs have been kind of fun, but these injuries and everything else that's going on with them is kind of killing me. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on what's currently going on with Kawhi is now injured. There was injuries to Brooklyn, blah blah blah. Albert, we can start with you, but yeah, just want to hear your thoughts about all that.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of concern before even the NBA started, right? Where not enough rest, and that can cause a lot of injuries just because the season's starting way too soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think LeBron even posted as soon as after Kawhi's injury, where it might be what was it, ACL?
Yeah,
Something with
so
his
it's
knee.
a sprained right knee at the moment, but the Clippers are fearing it's ACL related.
Yeah,
It's, he might be gone for the whole series, maybe.
yeah, and LeBron, someone who puts over $1 million into his body, I can't even imagine what an NBA player can go through and just the wear and tear they go through. So it's unfortunate, but I mean, yeah, it's tough. It clearly shows that how it's affecting the playoffs and just the NBA in general. It's just unfortunate. But as far as the playoffs goes, I think it's really interesting. We don't have LeBron or Steph Curry. We have all these young guns, showing up, and it shows that the new generation's slowly taking over, passing the torch. And I watched part of the Sixers and the Atlanta game yesterday. I honestly thought Sixers had it in the bag and would move on to the finals, just because I thought Trae Young is their only answer apparently, or and Capella is like the defensive end. And they were up by like what 20, 26?
26. Did you turn the game off?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was in the gym working out, and I was like, all right, this game's done. I'm done with cardio anyways. But then I come home and like Trae Young is like with the victory.
Celebrating.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? They boofed themselves. I honestly wanted to give a big shout out to Tobias Harris, but with them losing, I think Tobias Harris was like their low key, like under the radar key player that would win it all for them. Because everyone's talking about Embiid and Ben Simmons, and I think Harris was their like
X factor.
Yeah, exactly. But losing by 26, I think they don't even deserve to go into the finals with that. But unfortunately, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Dre, Ace.
It's tough out there. It's tough out there. I mean, Sixers have been kind of boofing themselves a lot past couple of years, right? So it's kind of par for the course. When you get too comfortable and you start showboating and thinking it's in the bag, if you have some young players on either side that aren't going to give up, I guess that kind of stuff happens. So makes it entertaining. I feel like Trae Young's been one of the more interesting storylines. He's kind of turning himself into the villain almost. At least with the New York series, so that's fun. Because I feel like there always needs to be like a New York rivalry with someone going on, anyways. Like how Reggie Miller had it back in the day. I didn't think like Jordan used to like antagonize him and Spike Lee. So I hope the Hawks can pull it out. It would be interesting. I mean, the talent on the 76ers side is fun to watch, but I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see Trey's team go a little deeper. And then, I mean, who knows with the Nets? It looked like they were going to be done with the loss of Kyrie, but now, I mean, Kevin Durant's like ungodly, so who knows? He might be able to like solo carry it still. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think on that one?
Yeah, all that smack. I guess everyone on social media was putting Durant down, saying that he can't carry a team without Kyrie and Harden being injured. But I mean, Harden did play the other day, but Durant did show up.
Played.
Right.
You could tell he wasn't even close
100%,
to 100%.
Yeah.
I think they just needed to win that game to kind of like maybe boost their morale, and not all hope is gone. But I mean, Kevin Durant, he's just a talented, big man. And once again, he has like the handling skills of Kyrie. He has the shooting of Curry. He has the length of what a Dikembe Mutombo. He's just so long, but he's unguardable. Like I think he's probably one of the most unguardable players in NBA history, period, but with Kyrie going down and Harden not being 100%, now it does fall on KD's shoulders. I still think he can kind of carry a team, but it would be interesting to see KD heated versus a villain Trae Young in the Eastern Conference Finals, because I think we talked about it in the past episode. Ben Simmons doesn't impress me, and last game just really showed me like, man, like you tricked us, like of being like a highly touted talent coming out of college, and he's really just he's like a coast player. Like he there's no killer instinct, there's no Mamba mentality in him. And during the summer, work on your game, work on a jump shot. But I think he's cool with with what he has, and he'll live with that.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten better, right? Like from year to year, you can see some guys progressing and getting better.
Like
I'll
Trey
use
Young.
like Trey Young. Well, Trey Young, and he's only been in the NBA for a couple seasons too. So Trey is still figuring it out, in my opinion. Where Ben has been there longer, but I'll use Jaylen Brown as an example, as a guy who's gotten better every season, who flies under the radar. And this season he was shooting career highs from three, career high in points. Tatum gets better every year. That's another guy that you can like, these guys are getting better. Where Ben is good enough, but he, that that's regular season when teams, this and that. But when other teams are in the playoffs and they're like, the matchup is Ben Simmons, like, we're just gonna hack him, and he legit can't even make a free throw. I'm sorry, I get it, a lot of pressure, this and that, but 4 for 14 from the line.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's what he
what I'm
was
saying. That's
yesterday.
horrible, and that's
4
that's
for
like
14.
a Shaq line,
And so,
right? A
yeah,
Shaq
worse.
line.
Yeah, Shaq did better than that typically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw
And this is your
stat,
point guard.
Yeah, I saw a crazy stat that for the second half, only Joel Embiid and Seth Curry had field goals for their team. So no one had a field goal in the whole second half. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, it's not looking good.
Well, they're also saying like, this is a
panic alert.
This is also they're talking down on just how bad Doc Rivers is a coach. So
he's not missing 20 shot. Like he's not missing
true.
throws.
But he also has a team that fell 3-1 last season. Now he has winning 26 points and then losing to Atlanta game 5. So as a coach, you gotta pull, hey, my stars ain't doing something, switch it around or something. We can't lose this lead. Oh, now we lost the lead and now we're losing the game. So for him to try to figure that out in the second half, you can't figure that out in 24 minutes. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but then you don't want another like Toronto situation where the coach benched Kawhi, or was it Kawhi? Yeah, and then lose the game either way. I think you still want to have Ben Simmons out there no matter what. It's just a matter of like the experience, I guess. I think a lot of those guys are inexperienced when it comes down to like, when the game's on the line.
Well, they're two inexperienced teams too. Atlanta's there's no one on that team. Clint Capella is probably the most playoff experience because Collins has no experience. Trey Young has no experience.
True.
Lou Williams has played for a while. He scored 13 points in the fourth, which is a big deal. But no, you're right. But Atlanta, at least they looked hungry and they attacked more. Whenever we're playing basketball, if your shot's not working right, you got to drive to the basket. You got to do something else.
Oh, you're saying an NBA player doesn't think that? Like, you know what I mean? Like you're an NBA player.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You would think he would know that, right?
Yeah, you would. But that if you would know that, then that's like to your point. Then there wouldn't be coaches, right? Because they know what to do.
But then also he probably didn't want to take it to the hole because then he would have to shoot free throws.
Yeah.
That's when you're Ben Simmons, but then I feel Embiid missed 2 big free throws, but like he's damn near automatic, right?
Yeah.
That's
why I think Tobias Harris was would have been, the X factor. But yeah, it was just unfortunate, a player like Ben Simmons hasn't really progressed as much as we wanted to see.
Agreed.
And we didn't even talk about, so apparently Chris Paul tested positive for COVID and he's vaccinated. So that's why he's in health and safety protocols now, because he tested positive, and the only way for him to play the next game is to produce 2 negative tests back to back, but separated by 24 hours. And he needs to pass a third test, like a cardiac test or something like that. Yeah. So,
but doesn't he have to wait like for the virus to pass through like 14 days and then take 2 tests?
Well, if it's a false positive, right? That's why they're saying, oh, we'll just test him anyways. But he still needs to pass those 3 tests. So at the earliest, he would miss game 1 if they go to game 7. Clipper series goes to game 7 at the
which it kind of might. It looks like it might go to game 7. So that's good for Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then Phoenix would not have him game 1, but then
also sorry, back to Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Is it Is it Game 7 or Brooklyn gonna win the next one?
The one tonight,
Yeah,
I think it's gonna go Game 7 in my opinion.
probably 7.
7. Okay.
I would say 7. If Kyrie was healthy, they probably would have already won by now.
With Durant and like a 80% Harden, or do you think Kyrie would have won it either way without Durant and Harden?
I
In
think
this game, not series, just this
Ru-
game.
I think if Kyrie didn't get hurt, Harden wouldn't have came back this series and he would have played next series. So that's what I think would have happened. I think there was a lot of pressure on Harden to be like, oh damn, like I just need to be out there even as a decoy.
I think it was just like a morale booster, like so the like players felt comfortable, or
Yeah.
they have a better chance of winning.
Yeah. But I think healthy Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they were murdering Milwaukee. And so yeah, I don't think Kyrie's coming back this series, but 80% Harden with Durant, they probably win in 7.
I think maybe. Oh yeah, I don't think so. Even in Game 7, I think Kyrie wouldn't. I would not want Kyrie to force that ankle Game 7.
It's a nasty fall.
Yeah.
But
What do
the
you think,
West
Drake?
looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I mean, there's
So
a sweep
Phoenix
from the
secured-
Suns,
But
I mean, the whole storyline with Utah and the Clippers now, like with Kawhi, dropping down, and Utah playing like Utah, they'd look mediocre to me now.
I think they're missing Mike Conley. I think like they're really missing him.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, man, people said it was either Utah or Phoenix, and I just don't see it. I was like, well, Utah doesn't impress me.
nah, they don't look that great. And I mean, so are people gonna start respecting Paul George now? They're not gonna lay off of him, or are they always just gonna the next second he has like a suboptimal game, they're just gonna try to crush him again. It's kind of interesting how fast people are to hate. Very
What?
much to hate instead of praise.
Yeah, 100%. I like Paul George. I think he's a great
Yeah.
player. He's
Like I
more
said,
of a shooter.
even-
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Even that
Go ahead.
last year, in that series that they lost, I think I was telling you, John. Like I thought he still played well. I thought he was like killer from the 3. He was like, I don't know what his stat line was, but it felt like he had like 30 points a game in that series that they lost to Denver. So like I was kind of surprised that people were getting on him so harshly.
Do you think people are hating on him because he didn't choose the Lakers?
But he was
No.
traded, so it's not even like he
Mm,
got to
true.
choose.
And like, and then like I think people are talking about the stat line. Oh, but yeah, he was like 12 for 30 or something. But like I watched it on YouTube, like the last 9 minutes of the Bulls versus Utah, like Jordan's like final like game winner, like championship game. It wasn't his final game because then he came back and ruined it. But yeah, so I was watching that over. I was like, oh, actually, it sounds kind of interesting. Seemed to be cool just to see like the history and go back. And like, I mean, obviously the dude was fighting and he was exhausted and kind of older. So like what he did was so like impressive. But I didn't realize like his stat line wasn't that good, quote unquote good. Like his stat line was something that people would nowadays, they would be hating on Kobe for, they would be hating on a Paul George. Like he was like 12 for 28 or had some horrible thing, but he made big plays when it was crunch time. He had some steals and defensive things, and he made free throws. But it's just interesting who they choose to like go after, like the internet, and like who they choose to like idolize. Like I think Paul George has been playing great, and everyone's gonna have a bad game. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm a Laker fan, but game recognized game.
I think what Paul George is with like Jordan, what saves him is that he'll come through at the end. And I think Paul George, he doesn't come through at the end, and he'll like, well, hit the side of the backboard.
Right.
And I think with Paul George, he's very inconsistent. So like he'll have a very good game, and then he'll have 3 really bad games, and he'll have a really, really good game, then 2 bad games. And Jordan, he's just good all around. And I hope, how you're saying that people lay off of Paul George, I hope Chris Paul will get the love that he deserves now too, because he's consistently all the way good, and he doesn't really get talked about, as like the premier point guards of the league anymore, but the but I know we're talking about Paul George, but hopefully we give love for CP3. But I like Paul George. I think he's a good player. I'm biased, so hopefully he comes to the Lakers. But I just think like he has a lot of missed last minute shots, and that's what people look at more than his actual good games and good all around season compared to. Well, he doesn't make a lot of game winners. He misses more game winners than anything. But the fact that the team puts that trust in him should show like, well, he's actually a good player, but he just misses a shot. So not. I know it's his fault, but it's not his fault. You know what I mean?
It all comes down to winning, right? Like you're right, Dre. Paul George doesn't get the love that he probably deserves, but Jordan won those games. So that's probably what people like at the end of the day, they won't remember exactly the stat line for the game, but they will remember, well, he looked like trash and they lost. So it's his fault.
I mean, George needs he needs a Steve Kerr to hit a game winner. He needs a John Paxson to hit a game winner.
Yeah.
had help, So
well, I think it's the reverse effect for like Michael Jordan. They won't remember his missed shots. They will remember his made shots. For Paul George, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
they will remember his missed shots, but don't remember his made shots.
True.
Agreed. And him always getting like, how many times did Dame or like someone else hit a game winner on him, which
Steph Curry.
is unfortunate. Steph Curry, yeah. But Ace, I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit with what you said about Chris Paul. I feel like he gets too much love.
Really?
I do, because don't get me wrong. When he was in New Orleans, he did his thing. He was crushing it. He definitely carried that team. In Houston, it was hard and show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it was all show. On the Clippers, he did his thing. They were a nice little team. They never got over the hump, but that's not anyone's fault. As a team, they were just good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on Phoenix, especially this year, don't get me wrong, leadership is something that you can't really measure. It's an intangible. But they were a good team before he got there. They were turning their season around, and especially in the bubble with Devin Booker and all those young guys getting more experience. Does he put them in their natural positions? Of course he does. And does that help? Yes, absolutely. But I don't think that the success of Phoenix is all because of Chris Paul. I think that as a team, all those guys got better. Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker is looking like, the shooting guard of the future. They're deep, right? They got Cameron Payne, they got Jamison Crowder. Like they added pieces. And Monty Williams is a good coach. So I think he's getting a little bit too much credit. Like all these conversations about, Chris Paul should have been in the MVP talk and he made all NBA. Why didn't Booker make all NBA? I feel like Booker was just as important, if not more important, because if you remove Booker from that team, they're not as good. If you remove Chris Paul, I still think they would have made the playoffs this year.
Well, that's
in my opinion.
No. I mean, that's a beauty of like basketball. You can have like your own opinion. I think if they didn't have Chris Paul, I think the Lakers could have beat them in 7 games, even without AD.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
without Booker, and I think that was also our argument too. So if the Suns were to win, who's going to be the MVP? Is it Booker or Chris Paul? Right? Because I think Booker is the team, right? But at the same time, if you take out Chris Paul, that's just like, man, that's like almost like 55% of the success of that team to me.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul, or they would have definitely made it in the playoffs without Chris Paul, but they wouldn't have gone as far without Chris Paul.
That's fair. I mean, he definitely, I'm not saying he doesn't make the team better, because I agree. I think he does make his teams better. He does make everyone better. Again, he's putting guys in their natural positions. And how much easier is it for Jamison Crowder to just catch and shoot versus like, let me try and get my own shot? Because he's not going to be able to without like a Chris Paul, Booker, and Aiden creating, taking away so much attention.
True. I mean, that's the beauty of Chris Paul's like game, right? Like he's that guy. But I feel confident if we were to put him in majority of the teams in the league, they would be a whole like 2 notches better, in my opinion.
Makes sense. All I know one thing's for sure. Knox would lock up Chris Paul, period.
Easy.
Yeah.
Lock him up.
Goldie locks him up.
Easy. Imagine if Chris Paul's on the Lakers, man. like we haven't had a real good point guard in forever.
We're talking about, man. We had Lonzo Ball, man. He was balling out.
He
Oh,
showed
man.
flashes, but yeah, I
It wasn't-
agree with you, Dre.
It wasn't
haven't.
Spalding. That's what it was. It wasn't that ball. But yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Eventually, Lakers will eventually have. We haven't had a shooter. We haven't had like a point guard since Nick Van Axel, and we haven't had a shooter since. Well, I mean, I guess we have.
Well, Derek Fisher.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so
But he's not like a Thompson, Robert Orr. I would say Robert Orr was our last shooter.
Yeah. Fisher was.
We're talking. We had Glenn Rice, man.
But did you hear? Speaking of Robert Orr, like Shaq came up some small feeds about on his podcast. He was talking about that Robert Horry should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. He said if Bill Walton's whack ass is in there, then they boot him out.
Shaq called Bill Walton whack?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Like who knows if he was kind of talking, like being funny. But he said like if that kind of jokester is in there, then
that knucklehead made it in.
I love Bill Walton.
Then Big Shot Ori should be in there. I was like, yeah.
I got a question. Okay, Bill Walton, he was good. What, in Portland?
They won a title.
Walton?
Yeah.
On what team?
On Portland.
On the Pistons
no. Hold on. I'm looking this up. You guys keep going. Bill Walton definitely won a title.
I know he won a title. I think he even won a title with like Boston too, right?
Like what team is it?
Boston.
Like he was on like the Bucks or something. Detroit.
See, or
am I thinking of Bill Lambier?
Well, I just feel like if Bill Walton was such a Hall of Famer, where did he win a ring?
He won it with Boston. He won it with
Boston, right?
Like what classic big time plays, do we all remember from his highlight reels? I don't know many highlight reels. I just remember him taking off his shoe and like throwing his shoe up to block a shot, and he got it like a tech or something.
Nice. But also also the Basketball Hall of Fame takes into account your collegiate career, and he was a beast in college.
Oh, does it?
It does.
Oh, I know.
It's not a big deal. It's not the biggest deal, but that's why sometimes you'll see college head coaches get into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Is that so? Like a Christian Laettner might make it into the Hall of Fame then, or a Harold Miner?
Well, no, because that's a great question. I don't think they would, because I do think they take into account your NBA career. And Bill Walton had a good NBA career. He got hurt, right? He was injured, but
sure,
yeah. but like, okay, cool. Like Grant Hill is probably gonna make the Hall of Fame.
You think so?
He might, because he had such a beast college career and he was pretty beast early on. I don't know. I'm not that smart, so I don't know. But I know they take into account like some of your collegiate. They're not gonna put Adam Morrison in though. That guy was insane.
He's gonna be put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Is Tracy McGrady? Is he in the Hall of Fame yet or no?
No.
I don't know. If he is.
So how about Tracy McGrady was such a great player, right? But he came straight from high school, so there's no college career for him to judge from.
Unfortunately.
Would they judge him on his high school career?
No.
Damn. So I don't have a chance.
Unfortunately, but yeah, I mean, there's some guys, I mean, obviously that deserve Hall of Fame more than others, but yeah, Big Shot Bob, dude, right? And he has more rings than Jordan.
He has more than Jordan. How many does he have?
Yes, 7.
He has 7 rings.
He got 2 with Houston, 3 with the Lakers,
San Antonio,
and then 2 with San Antonio.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, then like I feel like he has to be in there automatically, just based off of that.
Just off of rings.
How many rings he got?
He has to give up 1 ring in order to get in there, though.
Yeah, he has to donate it.
Didn't Meta World Peace sell his ring, Ron Artest? He sold his.
Yep.
I wouldn't sell mine. Did he donate? He donated that.
I think he donated the proceeds to like mental awareness or mental health.
Damn, he should be in the Hall of Fame just for that. I like that.
But he probably can never be in the Hall of Fame, right? Because of him beating up, stands, like people in the stands, the fans.
Hell yeah. That's good, man. He squared up with Detroit, man.
Well, what about Rodman? You think he'll go in? Because I mean,
he did. He's in. Yeah, Rodman's in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Okay. I was gonna say because of his like kicking that cameraman and how he got like fined hella money. He said that guy said he like tore his scrotum or something. His kick robbed me, kicked me, and tore my scrotum. So I want $2 million.
Did you have you ever seen that video where he kicked him and he like it was like a delayed reaction? He was like, oh, 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 but he was like, oh shit, I'm about to make some money.
No, I didn't see it. I gotta check.
You gotta watch that video where
I thought
he
like it didn't even like he didn't even kick him like between his legs. Like
yeah, it like kicked him in his inner thigh, I think. Yeah, and he just looked at Rod and he was like, oh, I'm about to get some money.
Some of that American money.
I want that money.
Oh,
dang! Like kind of like with the Joker. I mean, I know we're probably time to move on from basketball, but I'm liking all the like Serbian mafia memes coming out of that after that fight. Yes, the league's too soft. I don't think that was a flagrant 2 to be thrown out of the game, like MVP or not, but especially for like the MVP. I mean, he got the ball. Like, yeah, like he hit the face and maybe he was trying to do extras, but he technically got the ball.
Yeah,
like,
there was no intent of hitting him in the face.
Right.
Yeah, it was a basketball play.
Yeah, it was a basketball play more than like when they just grab a player and stop them from going for a basket, which is less aggressive. But who knows? Maybe they fall weird or land in something crazy. Like I don't like those plays more than what he did. Like at least make a basketball play. It's like back when we're talking about these older players. Back when there was like all that hard ball against Jordan and the Pistons, and Kurt Rambis got laid out. Like that was cool. Like you can make hard plays and people could get cheated and that should be like the rules and how it works, right?
Yeah,
I feel like the referee wanted to make his imprint on the game. Like, oh, I got to make this call. I'm like, yo, man, you can't kick out, their best player off the team.
What were you saying, Albert?
Yeah, I don't even think the game was getting like out of hand, like physical wise before, right? Yeah.
It was a frustration foul too. You can tell he was frustrated.
Yeah. Dumb call.
Agreed. And from that, let's talk about another jokester. Y'all saw the first episode of Loki yet? Why are you shaking your head, Dre? You've seen the first episode.
No, yeah, it wasn't that. It was about that joke. But
your transition was great, is what Dre said.
It was great. Thanks for acknowowleding how great.
Loki was good. Loki, it was a good transition.
Damn it, Ace. That was good. That was, you son of a bitch. But yeah, man, what are your guys' first impressions on Loki? I don't want to get into episode 2. I'm sure some people haven't seen it, right? But yeah, what are you guys' first impressions of the show so far?
I haven't gotten too much from the first episode, so I'm just interested in seeing where it goes. But the concept behind it, I'm like, it's very interesting to me. So I'm excited on where it's gonna go. I just from the first episode, I didn't get too much for me, but the concept's there for me. And then once again, I don't think Marvel is gonna let us down. I think they're gonna do their due diligence as far as like introducing the next phases within this what is this little sub series?
Yeah, miniseries. Yeah,
miniseries. So, bring it on, Marvel. Can't wait.
Did you like it so far?
I mean, episode 1, it was good. Good enough for me to watch the second episode, which came out last night, but I haven't gotten around to it. But I will watch it today.
Mm-hmm.
Albert. Oh, Dre. Sorry.
That was good. I found it. It was interesting. Like it's a little hard to kind of grasp exactly all the stuff that's going on. That group that they're with, like the Time Keepers, I forgot what they call themselves, like
Time Variance Authority.
Right, the Time Variance. I'm trying to figure out are they really that powerful, or like is the illusion where their power comes from? Because like when they're doing all stuff and like Loki's like thinking, well, he's a god and he's going to be able to do what Loki does and get out of things, and they're like not worried like at all. I couldn't tell. I found that to be a kind of curious thing to see how it plays out. It's like, are they that powerful? And they are like working with basically the creators of time and universe. And Loki doesn't stand a chance. He's just like, even someone as powerful as Loki is like kind of like powerless there or worthless. I mean, which by the end of the first episode, we kind of find that that's not really fully accurate. But I kind of like that idea of like, well, what if they just like by saying they're this powerful, like that's where their power lies, right? By like people thinking they don't really have a chance or they can't beat the system, then they don't try, and then that's why they actually can't do it. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of curious to see exactly, because if they can control time or see how everything's supposed to be laid out, you would think that they would be able to stop Loki from like originally like breaking through like the original time thread anyways, or they can just like undo him with the snap, right? Or just use their things to turn back time enough. But so yeah, same with Ace. Didn't get like a whole lot. Wasn't like, oh, after the first episode, like I'm crazy in love with the show. Like I just want to kind of see how it goes, which is kind of similar with WandaVision. So I like that they kind of take their time and just kind of like let it grow on you, like kind of don't rush it. And Owen Wilson, haven't seen him in a while. Like I was like, it's really nice to see him. Like he's real charming. Something about his presence on like the screen. I just liked his character and liked like everything he was doing. So it's kind of my main takeaways.
Kudos to Owen Wilson.
But before Albert speaks, Dre, so then would for first like viewings, right? Like WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, would you say that Falcon and Winter Soldier hooked you the fastest then? Because you kind of put Loki and WandaVision in the same kind of branch of like, it's gonna take time to develop when
right.
Whereas, yeah, okay.
Sorry for sure. Yeah, that one probably hooked me a little bit more because it's of the three shows, it's the most grounded in reality, I guess. That one kind of opens up with like people, the guy's in therapy and he's trying to get acclimated back to like, living a normal life, Bucky and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was a little bit more things that kind of like are easier to understand. And the WandaVision, like we're trying to, there's like mysteries, same with Loki's the mystery. So it's good. And they don't want to give away the whole mystery right off, like from the jump. So I think those are more slow burns, which is cool. And I'm glad it has that. So, but yeah, I was still like, had a lot of questions, which I'm sure is kind of like the whole point.
I'll be easy.
Yeah, I like Dre's take on like the whole time is like really might be an illusion of power. I didn't really get that from the first episode, but yeah, that was a really good take. But yeah, hold on, sorry, it might be sirens. But
they're trying to get Albert. They're trying to get Albert.
The TVAs again are out for me. But the first episode, I think it was mostly a recap, just so that everyone can catch up on from all the movies and the series that we've been watching. I did fall asleep a little bit just because because I know what like I've been caught up. I know what's going on, so a lot of the recap was just a little bit like it was slow for me. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's like a half step forward instead of a full step, and yeah, it was a good recap episode.
That's a good way to put it too, because yeah, it did catch up everyone. Like this is the Loki that we're going to be following. It's not the one that died. Spoiler alert, but Loki always seems to die and come back somehow. And yeah, what I really liked about it from episode 1 is I felt it's a bit more comical. Though in Falcon and Winter Soldier, there was a bit more like just banter because of who they are as characters. WandaVision didn't have a lot of comedy, but it did have some moments. But I felt like just Loki's just, Tom Hiddleston, he's also very charming too, right? And he's just, I don't know, like his delivery on his lines, I'm just like, this guy is so extras. I love it because he's the god of mischief. And again, this is the Loki that wasn't grounded yet until he finished watching that video. By the way, I thought this was really cool. Before Loki, remember in the episode 1, he saw his timeline, right? And then it went to the end. It was like on film. The last thing that he technically sees is Thor hugging him, not Thanos killing him. And I was like, yo, that's a really dope, like little thing that I feel like not, it can go unnoticed because when you're watching Endgame, Thanos cracks his neck or whatever, but that wasn't the moment that his film ended. It was when with his brother, which, brings a full circle to being like hating Thor, but loving Thor, being jealous of him, etc. Anyway, but yeah, I just like how genuinely funny the show is. And I mean, maybe it's because Loki's kind of silly and I like silly characters because he was pretty damn silly.
Yeah, it does
Like,
seem like it's in your line of humor with the silliness. And then also the no, I mean not in a bad way, but yeah, it does seem like yeah, it's like the office or like the cleric worker guy, like that guy is great. So hopefully we'll see
Yeah.
more of him.
what's a
He's the homie.
fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So yeah, we'll see. So John, so what you're saying is you feel when Loki then because it's kind of like a not like a bait and switch, but he gets this motivation, right? Oh, now finally like pure motivation, whatever he needed. But like that action was him turning violent in a way. He was starting then to break out and was doing all this like kind of fighting and like aggression. So do you feel though, even though it was aggressive, that motivation was him seeing, Thor being like so brotherly for him and it's actually him gonna be like a good guy instead of revenge against Thanos?
Yeah, I definitely do think it's that because I think, man, I could be wrong, but the direction that the MCU kind of took Loki in, like our mainline Loki was he wanted to be Thor. He was so jealous of his brother. He wanted to be king. He, eventually got the throne and then got dethroned. But it was those small moments in Ragnarok, really, when he's with his dad, Odin and Thor, where he starts to, realize like, I don't need to be this jerk all the time. And I think he just wanted power because he's obviously not Thor, right? He's not strong as Thor, but if he works for Thanos, he can get that power that he lacks because again, he wants to be like Thor. So I thought that it's going to be more like that. Like I'm going to do this for the right reasons because this is who I want to be, but I can't be vulnerable around like in public because I'm a god and I have to be like this, rah, rah, but really he wants to do the right thing. At least that's the vibe I get. Even with Owen Wilson's character, remember he was like, but do you like hurting people? He just kept pushing. He kept pushing. It reminded me of I forgot the movie. Dre, help me out with the movie. I think it was Goodfellas, where it's like, it's not your fault.
No,
It's not
that's
your fault.
That's
no, that's
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, same thing. Goodfellas. I knew there was a good in there, guys.
close.
Stop yelling at me.
Totally off.
It's not
Yeah,
your
you went from a mobster movie to a kid from Boston having to figure himself out.
Yeah, man, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. Obviously. I knew there was good in the title. My bad, guys. Damn it. But yeah, Dre, that's my take on it. Like he wants to be he wants to be
Right.
looked at as like a good person. Good.
Right. Like, yeah. And I agree. And I think, but the way they tried to shoot it was to make the audience think that it's more about vengeance, and then it's going to be like a nice little surprise at the end.
Surprise. No, no one, just me.
Was that another Good Will Hunting reference?
No, man. In Good Company. I'm gonna just say all the movies with the good in its title.
Noise.
So at the end, right, the episode, I mean, when people are watching this, it's going to be 2 episodes out, like, so it's no spoiler for episode 1, we should hope.
Right.
But then I was like, as we were watching it, or as I was watching it, I was starting to think like, what if like who he's supposed to catch is himself, and then that kind of turns out to be what happens, because like, oh, this person's so powerful and we like can't catch him, he's so elusive or whatever. So I guess they're basically recruiting him to
catch
hunt
him
down himself. Like, what did you guys think of that twist, and how do you think it's going to play out like throughout like the course of the show?
I can't answer that because I know the answer to that.
Oh,
Same.
Not even because of like spoiler, like I watched episode 2 or whatever. Like I just from the
comics?
overview of the show. No, not through comics, but through the overview of the show and other things that were just going around with the production of it. Like I kind of know who he's after, but it doesn't tell me who the antagonist is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but Dre, you're a genius because like you caught all this from like viewing one episode and seeing this, the TVA as like, are they really as strong as they are? When really, like me, I'm a dumbass and I just kind of know this because of, I follow so much publicity around the show. Like certain things just kind of get said. but you're on the right track. That's all I'm gonna say without hopefully giving too much away.
Okay, yeah.
Dre
I don't
is
want to
always
say
on the
more
right
than that.
track.
Chill.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything more. Yeah, man, Dre's a genius, man. Dre locks up their best player. He gives the game-winning dimes to win the, and then he just, chugs a big old beer and watches some Big Trouble in Little China. Sorry. TMI.
Let's go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode. Probably watch it right after we get off of this. And I'm gonna watch In the Heights. I think I'm gonna watch that tonight. I haven't watched it yet.
It's 2.5 hours long. It's worth every minute.
Really?
It's 2.5 hours long. It's worth every hour. Did you watch it?
No.
Ace?
I'm not a musical type of cat.
I feel you. But this
Like,
is more of a
even in
story.
sitcoms, like, when they do a musical like episode, yeah, like I'm like, oh man, I'm not a musical cat.
Watching The Heights. Just
Like,
it's good. It's so good.
Like, as much as I love Glee, I couldn't watch Glee.
Oh man.
Wow.
So I've been rewatching that with the missus. And it's season 1 was actually really good.
Season 1 was really good.
They were doing something different and kind of fresh. It's really good. And maybe even season 2 has its parts when the Warblers get in there and that one dude's in
The
it.
Warblers.
Like, they're really good. But man, it gets really rough. I think I'm on season 3, almost to 4. And where I stopped watching when it was running in like real time. And it's just like, I was like, man, this is rough. This is
very
I don't know if
YA.
there's time. Breaking Bad though is great, and it's a trip. But like maybe once I'm done with all of it, I'll talk to you guys and we can
Cool.
have a discussion
Please.
about it. But I've been really enjoying Breaking Bad.
Do you have a favorite going back to Glee, Dre, do you have a favorite song or performance so far from rewatching?
That's tough. So the Warblers, when they're first introduced, like the Teenage Dream, that was always one of my favorite tracks.
It's a good
But
one.
I think so. My favorite, I think, is Bright Eyes, or is it called Turn Around?
Yes.
Around,
Yeah.
Bright Eyes. That one, and they have it like
Okay,
like,
someone's showing
like
off their
then-
skills real quick.
they have like the 3 singers. It's like they have like a threesome. Pause. Do it. So I think that one back then was my favorite, and watching it now it's really good. And I realized part of me now realizes why is that the guy who plays Jesse, who's like the love interest who kind of messes with Rachel's head and does all this stuff. So he's actually the king in Hamilton, and he's like a big time theater person. He's been in it, so I guess he's really good. Like he was good on the show, and like that's clearly the reason why, like because he's like a pro.
Yeah.
But so that one's probably my favorite song.
That's another musical you need to watch, Ace. Hamilton is amazing.
Hamilton's really good. Is that like I definitely recommend that one.
Yeah,
Same answer. I mean, if it's not his vibe, if any of them, then go watch Sweeney Todd. That's my favorite of all time.
Well, is Andy Bernard in it? Because that's the only Sweeney Todd I'm gonna watch.
Oh my God.
Touche.
Oh my God. What about you, Albies? Do you feel the same way as Ace about musicals?
I think the only musical I do like is never mind. Never mind. I don't want to put that out there.
No, you
man,
can't.
you
You
gotta
can't
say it,
tease us
man.
like you gotta tell us now, bro.
is it,
What?
man?
What you mean?
Is it
I was gonna
Hairspray?
say, my favorite musical is Grease.
Hey,
there's nothing wrong with
that. Tell me more.
Okay, chill, Sandy.
Say less. I haven't even really seen Grease. Like, I don't even think I've really seen 10 minutes of it. I know the famous like little clips.
Yeah.
And I know some of their biggest songs, but like I never actually sat down and watched it.
You gave me so much crap about never watching Titanic for like I took me forever to watch Titanic. I think I watched Titanic when I was 26.
Shame.
And you haven't seen Grease?
Hey, those are not comparable.
You're right.
Titanic
Agreed.
I mean, Grease, yeah. I mean,
Agreed.
like it, has its place in American film history for sure.
Mhm.
But that's one I haven't seen.
I think if I were to watch Hamilton, I think I'd want to see it live, right?
That's what like I would thought, but so it's on Disney Plus now, so like a lot of people go to see it, and yeah, like I don't know, I was really moved and really enjoyed the music and started to become obsessed with it and like replay it and to like listen to like the songs and stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't knock on the Disney Plus version.
We're putting Ace to sleep because he doesn't like musicals. Another musical question, Albert. Did
Keep
you
going, keep
watch
going.
Glee?
I tried to.
Okay.
I honestly did try, but it wasn't even the music that didn't catch me. It was just more of the storyline and the acting.
Yeah, it gets
portion of
That's
it.
it's young adult.
rough.
That's fair. So a musical that I really love, which Glee did, Ace, I think you've seen this too. And there's a remake coming out this year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be this year with Victoria Justice, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's a great musical. What, Ace? What?
Cool.
I thought you would like it because
Yeah, it's cool.
It's fun.
It's nice. I like it. Like watching it.
You fucks with it.
I haven't seen it. The only thing I know is basically the Drew Carey shows like opening, like title screen, like kind of mocks that, or not mocks it, like they actually like enjoy it, right? They like
Do
do a
parody. Yeah.
homage to it. So that was kind of like the most I know.
I it's what's it? Not Eddie. Eddie Curry is a basketball player.
Tim
What's
Curry?
his name? Tim Curry. Thank you. Pennywise. Sorry. Curry in general is on the mind. Anyway,
You are hungry, huh?
I am hungry. Tim Curry in the original Rocky Horror Dre is like, that dude's just great. He just gets it. Like, and he's like completely, flamboyant as he's supposed to be, but he just crushes that role. Anyway, but we can change the subject from musicals. But I would never admit, but growing up, I watched so many and I thought like, no, I hate them, but no, I actually like musicals.
I mean,
good.
the Wizard of Oz could technically be considered sort of a musical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have like how many songs they have? They have like they have at least three? They have at least two.
They have the
Somewhere Over the
Munchkin
Rainbow.
song, Over the Rainbow. We're off to
Would
see
Willy
the Wizard.
Wonka be a musical then?
Ooh,
The original or the remake?
The
original.
original.
Willy Wonka only has like one, or they have one song, and oh no,
They have a song per
maybe
kid.
because they have the Candyman has a song,
With
right?
me, and you'll be in a world of your imagination.
That's an interesting point. Is Willy Wonka a musical? Because there's the
If that's a
Candyman.
musical, then that's my favorite musical.
Oh, all right,
I can see that. I can see
I
that.
can see, yeah, I can see that being a musical.
Yeah, I grew up watching like Phantom of the Opera, Little Shop of Horrors,
I
like
haven't
stuff like
seen
that.
Phantom of the Opera.
Little Shop of Horror, is that what Rick Moranis?
I don't know. Maybe it's the one with the big fly eating trap.
Yeah,
the
it's
Venus
with
fly-
Rick
yeah.
Moranis. Yeah.
Oh, is that who
Yeah.
the
I like that was a good one too.
But I saw that live. Like I saw musicals live growing up.
Whoa, okay, my bad. Sorry, cultured.
No, I know, right? No, again, who would have thought it was all because of it's a funny story about John. I had a scholarship growing up and I got it in middle school. And so every year I would get money and I had a mentor and we would do these things that got me basically cultured. They took me, we went to musicals. That was the first and one of the first, that was the reason why I went to Disneyland like the first time, because I never thought that I would ever go. But it was because I had this scholarship that allowed me to do these things and get more cultured and try like food places stuff. Cause I would have
had
been
sushi in middle school. Okay.
no, but I ate stuff that I don't think I ever would have because of just given my opportunities and where I grew up or whatever.
He's so cultured that he wouldn't spit out his boba. He was like, oh, no, I can't.
I had boba before it was
I couldn't
big,
dare
man.
spit out the boba. That wouldn't be, seemly.
Nah, I mean, I remember when y'all first met me, I probably like had an even worse taste palette than I do now. Like I was super basic. I was almost as basic as Bruce.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
No, but Bruce was hella basic. But I would give Bruce a lot of credit if he would take our advice. But how many times did we tell him to eat tacos and he never ate tacos with us?
Right.
Yeah. Bruce is a basic.
But he does eat tacos.
Now,
Yeah. So you got to give him 7 years.
It's that's worse than Dre's every 4 years he gets McDonald's craving.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I got so what I have about a year and a half, I think. I got a year and a half to 2 years. It's like the Olympics or World Cup, you know?
Or a new president.
Oh yeah. There you go. There you go.
You're insane, Dre. Okay, cool. So I think we can stop talking about musicals now. Unless anyone else has something to say about musicals.
No.
Very good. Very good. By the way, Luca comes out. Shameless plug tomorrow. Pixar, you're welcome. Oh dear. So there's a huge dunk on the TV. No, just me.
Oh, what's the score? What's the score?
Oh, Milwaukee is about to win.
But the game's already almost over?
Yeah, there's a minute left. They're up 13.
So there will be a game 7.
There will be a game 7. So Ace called it.
There you go.
Okay. Fun question. You director nerds, I'm gonna put you in the director seat. If you could direct a movie that you've seen or that you haven't seen, but maybe you had the idea for, I'm gonna start with you, Albert. What would you direct?
I'm actually gonna have to go with Good Will Hunting, just because the way they depicted the wise guys, you know, Henry Hill. It's a classic, you know, mafia movie.
Jerk. Jerk.
No, but
It's not
I
your fault.
actually
It's not your
No, it's
fault.
not- it's
Look
not
at
your
me,
fault.
Will. It's not your fault.
I would actually like to direct Goodfellas. Just because just the whole mafia like depiction and the whole mafia like background was very interesting to me, like growing up. And the way they have like Henry Hill being, you know, like the rise of that like mafia gang and stuff. I think was really cool to me. And then like, you know, Joe Pesci, you got Robert De Niro, you know,
Martin.
yeah. And then I think like one of my favorite scenes is like it's like not even a major scene, but it's just like of Karen, you know, offering the police officers coffee just because, you know, like they always give out warrants and to search and seize like all of their belongings and whatnot. And like I guess all of the other old ladies or wives would always, you know, give him a hard time, but you know, Karen, being the calm, cool, collected one, would offer them coffee and just let them do what they have to do, just because, you know, it is what it is, and they know what type of business they're in. But yeah, I think that's one of the movies I would direct. I would also direct any Mark Duplass movie. He's from The League, but he's like a huge like indie director, and I love indie films, and all of the indie films that he's directed, I thought were pretty interesting. And something about indie films where like the ending is just so ambiguous, like it kind of leaves you thinking. The one I love, the movie, The One I Love, I think is what it's called, is pretty good. Or Your Sister or Sister by Mark Duplass was outstanding to me.
Interesting.
Some great picks.
Pretty deep.
Knox or Ace or
I think the rest of us are screwed now.
Yeah, like man.
I know.
Damn, never
Well,
mind.
I was gonna. I mean, I love Christopher Nolan films, even though he can be a bit pretentious. I don't think I'm smart enough to direct something that he had created. But a movie or movies that, and same with like a Guy Ritchie. Like I really like a lot of his films. That I'm rediscovering a lot of his films even more recently, and I'm just like, I love how everything comes together at the end in Guy Ritchie films, right? Because it's always like setup, random stuff, but really it all connects, which is super cool. But if I were to direct something, I would want to do something a bit more fun. Not that those movies aren't fun, but like just in my mind, like I would love to do something kind of over the top and a little bit of fun with Kurt Russell. So I was thinking more of like a John Carpenter style movie, like any of his Apocalypse trilogy, like The Thing, Prince of Darkness, or In the Mouth of Madness. Like I would love something that's kind of really grandiose in scale, but you don't really think about it until after the fact, because The Thing is just like, specifically The Thing, because that was the one with Kurt Russell. I mean, he's done other projects with Kurt Russell, but I would love to do The Thing, which in itself is a remake about this alien that can morph into people and look like people and just assimilate. Am I saying that word correctly, Dre? Assimilate.
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 Uh,
But yeah,
Sort of, yeah. Think so.
yeah. So basically, it would just like become people, and then it would just keep becoming people. But they are stranded in, the Arctic, and the thing can't go anywhere. So it's like, well, who's the thing? You can't trust anyone. It's a lot of paranoia, but there's actually a lot of like just badass Kurt Russell moments, like him just saying just over the top shit that's seems like it should be out of the film, but it's perfect for the film, and it's horror, but it's paranoia and suspicion, and just gets the juices flowing, like something like that where it's just otherworldly, but at the same time everyone's can relate to like being paranoid about whatever it is and having anxiety, but this thing will kill you, literally the thing. Yeah, so something a bit more fun, but you're right, Dre and Ace. How do we follow up Albert?
Well, okay.
It's like how your juices were flowing.
Yeah, I like how it got your juices flowing.
I would like to direct M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, that was my pick right there, bro. We got to redo that one.
Wait, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think there was ever that movie.
And wait, and all I would tell the actors, his name is Aang. Say it with me, Aang.
I've never seen the film. What do they call him? Or
Ong.
Yeah,
Ong.
it was.
Albert, you haven't seen that? You should watch that one night just for to like torture.
No, yeah, I already knew
torture.
it was terrible.
You should watch it. We went to a midnight showing.
Yep.
Did you guys go in thinking it was gonna be good, or like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be like.
I mean, they had a cartoon, or they had a script to follow.
Legendary.
Yeah, that's tough. Sorry for you guys.
And it did have Seychelles Gabrielle. Just saying.
There you go.
Yeah,
there
he
you
was
go.
pretty
Shoot your
dope.
shot. Shoot your shot.
Come on, Ace. Dre, that's a great pick. I think you would absolutely. Well, yeah, you would. It'd be way better than one. You would crush it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has source material. You just follow the source material and make the action look more fluid and not like he was trying to be too much the director, right? The auteur, they say in film, right? But like no, sometimes like the best thing is for them not to see your hand, for them not to see everything. You just like, let me show you how good of a director I am and all this stylized things. It's just like make a good film where no one thinks of you. It's like the sign of a good ref. Good ref is a ref that no one talks about or realizes is there. That people are just watching the game.
That's fair. Good.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, man. That's
all right. Sorry, Ace.
No, I mean, I was like, man, M. Night Shyamalan, Last Airbender, like that has to be the one you had to redo. Please redo that movie.
Right.
But, I was thinking maybe like Bowling for Columbine because there was no bowling at all.
No.
Like, yo, where are they gonna bowl? Where's the pins at? But no, I'm messing with y'all. But no, my pick was gonna be The Last Airbender because it was just such a really, really bad movie, and we all love the cartoon. We walked in there like they can't screw this up. And yeah, that was M. Night Shyamalan's twist. I can't screw up that bad.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, that's the movie that I picked that we have to redo no matter what.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be able to direct like any blockbuster like with that has to do with like CGI or green screen because I don't think my director mind would be able to like think or even figure out how to like show that on screen. Yeah, all those green screen stuff is just too hard for me.
Isn't like The Mandalorian all kind of in one studio? Like everything is kind of fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy though, because that show looks amazing.
Yeah, they did a good job. Except for that one episode where they're clearly out in like the hills of Burbank or like somewhere in LA. It just looks like it's right outside. Like
you just see the Hollywood signs in the back. Like, wait,
yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about? Ace, you know? Or wait, like have you seen all the episodes?
The second season?
Yeah.
I think I stopped after episode 3 or 4. I have to finish it.
Okay.
You stopped?
Yeah, just got into something else. I think I was watching more anime at that point.
Good thing because there's a musical episode that like
The musical episode of Mandalorian. That's where I stopped.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, I'm definitely gonna get back into it. I have to finish it.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
No, yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about the Mandalorian yet, so that's good. And also, I try not to listen to it since I haven't finished it all the way through. So, yeah,
Avoid the spoilers.
Mando.
Yeah, I have to stay off of all of my like meme pages that I follow because after every Loki episode, they drop like hella memes. God damn it, internet.
It's low key annoying, huh?
Like the internet's just too fast, right? Like it's too easy, everything's too accessible. And I want to laugh because memes.
Yeah, gets your juices flowing.
All right, and on that note, I'm gonna go get my juices flowing on some food because I'm starving. Oh, geez,
Oh,
that
man.
came out wrong. No,
Yo.
no, you know what I mean.
No,
And then
we
leave
don't
down
know what you
private
mean. That's a
stuff,
problem.
You know, that's like, yeah, the internet doesn't need to hear about all your
Yeah.
private stuff.
I'm gonna become.
we don't need to know about your special Alfredo sauce.
The internet's fast because you volleyball set it up for them to spike it on you like that.
Yeah. That churro con white sauce and stuff.
And crema, extra crema, por favor.
But yeah, man, when I was working at Rubio's, my very first job, the chefs would always ask me if I want a churro con white sauce. I didn't know what they were talking about. I said, "Nah, man, I'm good, man. Get out of here."
Andre, churro, white.
I'm cool, man.
Dre, why does everyone like have nicknames for you? Remember when we worked together? They kept calling you Princesa.
Yeah, I don't
What's
know.
up with
man.
that guy, man?
I take it as a compliment.
Is it because you have nice hands? You have like really nice hands. You have
But you have
princess
to be
hands.
extra. I'm not going to show mine. That's on OnlyFans.
Damn straight.
OnlyFans, you get to see the hands.
Boom. That's what got you through the panda last year, huh?
Oh man! And with that note, everyone, thanks so much for stopping by. We'll call it a day. We'll get back to you with some more of that Loki stuff after we watch another episode. Thanks again, guys. Always nice talking to you.
Bye.
We'll catch you all in the next one.
Peace.